Okay. F. Murray Abram.
I always wonder, like, how bad does your name got to be just to go with the first letter? Like, his name's like Fuduquaff. I don't know. Like, what is his name that he doesn't want to
You
say?
could
It's
call
just
me
Frank.
S. Yeah, that's to just go with F. I don't know if that's like what that could be. I mean, if your name was Franklin, would you have any shame in having a name like Franklin?
People have shame for weird reasons, but some people don't like that name. I guarantee his name is probably Fred or Frank. I guarantee you that.
that's I don't again I don't know if we're starting up, but like shout out to Lump, Philly comic Lump, great dude. And for years I've always said like, man, I feel like your real name's Franklin. He hasn't confirmed it yet, but I feel like he could be going by Franklin and then just choosing the stage name Lump. Who knows? But
You know what
maybe
lump
switch it
stands
up.
for?
Life ugly, money problems. Bang
Life's
bang.
ugly money problems.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
talk about having a that might be the best comedy name.
That's why. That's
That's like the people always talk about like rappers like the best rap name. That's like the best comedy name because like for longest I thought his name was like Lump or it was just like a nickname. I didn't know it was an acronym.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's pretty. That's there's not a lot of acronym comedy names out there. Lump has maybe marketed the acronym game. How comes we don't have stage names? Why do we go by our original birth get names like this? We have so many options.
Okay, so look, shout out to people that like stage names, but I don't think they make sense for what I'm trying to do. Like I want to be the biggest comedian in the world as Alan Massenberg, not as caramel chocolate comedy. You know what I mean? Like I don't want
Well, if that's the nickname you're going to go with, I see why you'd elect to go with Alan Massenberg before that.
comedian caramel.
Comic Ice. Oh, shout out to Ice. Um, very
No,
real comic, very real funny guy.
I said this before. I got some backlash online. Well, I said I was like, and I said this. I was like, black comedians, you know, your real name will suffice, right? Like it worked. Like it's mainly black comedians. We really we do that. Like we'll have like the wild names, and it's like the real name works. You know, it
yeah,
honestly you get more money with a regular name. Period.
really. I wonder if there's any correlation between like bookings and stage names. Like, are you more likely to get? First of all, I think it all depends on merit too. But if people are just kind of like looking at a list of names of comics that they're unfamiliar with, are they more likely to be interested in looking at the clip from someone with a stage name, like Cadillac Converter ST, or if they want to get like someone that has like a name that's like, oh, that's most definitely just a name. I wonder if there's any
Yeah,
bias for that.
yeah, for sure, bro. This is come on, man. Like, listen. If you want to be stay true to yourself and you really want to have a nickname, well, by all means, do that. But when you submitting to things and there are people that will judge you because of your name on there, you may not get the opportunity. I mean, you may not want the opportunity because they're judging you because your name, but those are opportunities that you will be losing. Like that's just real
Uh,
rap, bro. Like you fill out an application at any job. If you put on the application, slick, Kirk Griffiths, like I mean, whatever. I don't
yeah.
know. Like if you put a
Silk
nickname.
smooth.
Like you fill an application and they always never ask you, do you go by another name?
Yeah.
Like whatever you put something crazy on there, they're gonna be like, we don't know about this one.
I'm gonna start returning back. When I start, I'm gonna be like putting down for any sort of thing where they're like, "Hey, do you have a different name?" I may start going by Rosebud again. Who knows? That was a nickname for a while. Like down to like even like my Facebook name was Rosebud. Should I bring Rosebud back? Should that be the stage name?
Can
Rosebuddy
you
Johnson.
can you explain the origins of Rosebud?
Yes, I can. I was a big movie fan growing up. We were all movie fans, still a big movie fan. And Citizen Kane, have you ever heard of it? Orson
Yes.
Welles? Yeah, so like in that movie, the whole idea is like his dying words are Rosebud. And I go back to the origins, like, what does Rosebud mean? What is like what in this life for this newspaper tycoon? What was significance of Rosebud, which was going
Mm.
to be the name of my mixtape. But then, like, when I was making a username for IMDb, Internet Movie Database message boards, I went with Rosebud, and then that became my rapper name. And then, yeah, kind of just went with it.
So it's one of your favorite movies. Is that why you went with it?
It's one of those movies. I don't know if you have this where it's like you wanted it to be one of your favorite movies. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, it's like you watched it and it's like, oh man, everyone loves this movie. There's such prestige to this movie. It'd be cool to have this on my list of my favorite movie. And at times when I was a teenager, I like kind of shoehorned it, kind of forced it. But yeah, I'd say like I haven't seen it in years. It's a solid movie. I like it, but I don't know if it'd be in my top 10.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same thing with like Titanic. Like
Really?
Titanic's a good movie, but like everybody's like, it's so great. I'm just like, I mean, isn't a big boat. You know what I mean? I mean
That was an alternative name. Yo, big boat. They're like, I don't know, guys. I think we maybe need to specify this a little bit. What kind of big boat was it?
right. Big boat, water, ice, racism. I don't know. Classism.
If you look up this movie on streaming services and they give you like the key themes, that you're gonna get all of those: big boat, racism, classism, water, doors. That's you're gonna get those themes for Titanic.
Yeah, I think it does sound pretty intriguing, actually.
Yeah, I know. It's can't wait for the sequel.
Yeah.
Property box. Welcome to Proper Bonics. If you're 10 minutes into this, how did you not know? How did you not know your favorite regionally recognized podcast is in the building? We're out here, man.
I think this is the first episode where there wasn't like a official start. Like neither one of us kind of like started. We just was like just talk.
It depends on when the start is. I started talking about my car issues and my foot. I don't know if we're gonna get that on air. My foot hurting me. I don't know
you
what's
got
up with
gout,
that.
bro. I was trying to tell you that. I was on mute, but you got gout. It sounded like gout to me.
Bro, don't even joke about that. Come on, man.
I'm not joking.
That'd be wild as hell. I don't think I'm like have symptoms to have gout. You know, it is. I've been running a lot, and usually I go for like kind of lighter runs. I went for like probably like maybe like a 3.5 mile run the other day, and maybe that's it. I don't know, man. It's just like on the arch of my foot, so it might be. Was it plantar fasciitis? You know, you gotta like roll the ball over sort of thing.
That hurts. I heard that hurts.
It stinks. If it's not that, I'll take it over gout, but still, like.
You should. I recommend this. A dope foot massage. Like I don't know if you're into pedicures or whatever you got going on at home, but like a good foot massage, like somebody to get right into the ball of your foot and like I know.
Yeah, it's ticklish. Yeah. Ticklish, bro. Someone's putting their like finger right into the nerve that like has reflexes that makes my whole body jiggle.
Yeah. I love that.
It's not as sexy as it sounds like. People, I realize my description sound very sexy and appealing, but no, man, it's like it just, I can't have the foot touched. I can't have even by the loved ones. Yeah, but I can't have foot touched.
What if the foot doctor though starts to touch it? Because I never been to a foot doctor, but I'm sure like they would probably like massage it out too, right?
I don't really rock with podiatrists. I'm very anti-foot. But who knows? If this progresses, I'll consider going to podiatrist. Maybe just call the dip and be like, dip, please make my body jiggle. By massaging my foot. Yes, that's how I'm going to frame it.
Make my body jiggle. But I'm so serious though. You need to that may be what it is. I don't. How long has this been going on?
Since last night, so not long. It's just I started walking. I don't know if you get stress-induced pain in your foot. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's
Kirk, you're an unk, okay?
Yeah.
You get random pains, man. This is what it is for you now, okay?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Some icy hot, some I don't know, drink some water, stretch, rub it.
Yeah.
That's life now, bro.
Suppose so. I won't complain too much though, but this is a part of life. There's other aspects of life that are a little bit more favorable than not. One of them being this week, got to see my boy on national television. What's up with that? What's up with that?
I was on TV, man.
Damn.
That was so cool. I was so my friend said to me, "Say, bro, you look so happy." Like,
you did.
I couldn't stop smiling.
Like, from beginning to end. And like they had like, I'll let you tell in details, but there was 3 of you, and the one with the biggest smile, you, my friend.
I couldn't stop smiling. I don't know. I was so happy, bro. Like,
as you should be, man.
it was very, very cool, man. I got to rate and judge the dad joke segment on the Drew Barrymore show on CBS. Jim Gaffigan was the guest. Oh, it was dope. Shoot, Punky Johnson was one of the guests too from SNL. She
Ooh.
she was there. She opened up the show. It had like 4 different guests, and they had a bunch of giveaways. Bro, it was dope, man. I felt like I made it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, so what they did was they had us. They booked us and had us sit in the audience. That's just the audience member for the show. So as we're sitting in the audience at first, before the show started, they come up to put microphones on us. You know what I mean? And everybody looking like, who's that? You know what I mean? Like, why they put microphones on them? And so when I sit
Yeah,
back down, it's like
plants in the audience.
yeah, right. And I sit down, there's like these 3 girls sitting next to me, and they're like, "Are you going to be on TV?" I'm like, I'm like, yeah. They got like so excited. They were like trying to move closer to me so they can be on camera,
That's wild.
which they were. It actually worked out for me. They get on camera.
They're like checking your lav mic and all that stuff.
So I told them I was like, I do comedy. They're like, oh my God, you're a comedian. And they follow me on Instagram and stuff.
Hey.
And so it was cool though, man. It was dope. One thing that I was really like, I was being very observant.
Mm.
Like I was looking at everything, just looking behind the scenes, look at the pictures, look at the people. Like I was very, like, I was clear-minded. It was like I was very like focused and then just enjoying the experience, enjoying the moment. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
feeling the chairs that I was sitting in. It was very comfortable. You know what I mean? So
You're
it
like
was cool.
touching all the fruit backstage and all that stuff. Like, ooh, this is a water cooler.
They didn't have any fruit backstage.
Drew Barrymore, what are you doing? You don't got
They
no
had
fruit backstage.
they had water and vending machines.
Oh.
It ain't Drew. It's CBS.
Oh.
Yo, look, Drew Barrymore is a doll. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, she is so kind, so sweet, so loving. The people there love her. Everybody she works with loves her. Bro, it was great. I don't know if you know it. Joey K. You know Joey K?
That name sounds familiar.
If you Google him, Joey K was the warm-up comedian.
Ah, okay.
So he didn't do like a set, but he just like, come on, everybody, get hype. And he was just telling us what's going on. And it's like little short Joey, got the glasses. He's been in the game for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just cool, man. It's just to see all that, man. Jim Gaffigan came into the audience and sat right in front of me, like on a lady's lap. You know what I mean? It was great, man. It was a great experience.
How was it once like you recognize like, all right, they're about to cue up the segment, the Gaffigan, he's talking about the movies he's about to do, and they're about to do the rate the dad jokes, and you know that it's about to be your cue. How'd that feel prior? Like that experience?
I'm not gonna say I was nervous, but it was kind of, so the show was very, I know a lot of shows aren't like this, but the show is very free flowing. Whereas like Drew Barrymore has so much control and she's really good at it, right? So they gave us like, we had to hold these cards, like we had to rate the jokes from 1 through 5. So before Jim Gaffigan came on the set and it was like commercial break, they came up and gave us the cards and it was like, at some point Drew Barrymore is going to start the segment like that. Like she's going to be interviewing Jim and at some point she's going to start. We don't know exactly what she's going to say. We don't know what, like, no one knows. So it's just kind of like,
it's like
you're just
PE.
like in it. You're just in it. You know what I mean? Like, so at one point, Drew Barrymore, they're talking, and then she goes, all right, we're going to do some dad jokes. And I'm like, all right, here comes the segment. And then she's like, we got some real live dads. And then she's like, asked this question. She was like, we got Alan. And she's like, Alan, how many, she's like, what kind of jokes do you like? And how many kids do you have? And then I had to hit him with I got 2 kids that I know of. Whole audience laughed. That part didn't make the TV screen, but
it's too hot for TV.
Bro, Drew Barrymore, Jim Gaffigan, and the whole studio laughed. So nice. Like, that's good for me. You know what I mean? So
that's a solid one right there. That's a good one to hit them with. That's good.
Yeah. And listen, the whole time though, I thought they were gonna let me do dad jokes because during my audition, I had to have dad jokes ready.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, maybe they're gonna let me do some dad jokes. And they told us, they said, we'll let you know, we'll brief you when you get here in the morning. Like, so it was like I didn't know I really had no idea what I was walking into, which I'm glad I'm down for anything. So it's like I can improvise, I can go from top of the head, whatever. So it was cool, man. It was
Yeah.
very
You
fun.
wanted to make sure that you were a good judge, sort of thing, of like, all right, tell these dad jokes. All right, we know that dad jokes. You'd be able to judge the other dad jokes, sort of thing,
Right,
perhaps.
right.
No, man, it's I was telling Lisa the dip. I was like, you killed it with the nonverbals. You killed it with the nonverbal sort of
Thank
thing.
you,
Like,
thank you.
yeah, like you're just like it was just like it was very much like even while not speaking, like it was very clear your presence was there. So
Yeah, thank
yeah,
you,
man.
man.
I would love if they gave you that footage of you making the room laugh, sort of thing. Like I know
I
like they
know,
cut it and all that stuff, but if they gave that footage of just like I don't know, that'd be kind of like a
man.
slick thing to have. It's still a credit if you're on the show.
So look, bro. Like it's a credit. Like it's a. Well, the night before I went on. Shout out to Asante Morris. I
Ooh,
mean, and Courtney. What's Courtney's last name? Is it Bledsoe?
court.
It's no, not Courtney
Yeah.
Bledsoe. I forget Courtney last. Assad. Courtney Assad.
Okay.
Um, we had a show they had a Christian Manuel and Asante run a show in Flatbush,
Oh, nice.
and I was doing their show that night. There was a night before my COVID test to get on the Drew Barrymore show, and I told him, I said, "Yo, if I pass this test, I'm gonna be on the Drew Barrymore show." And we was talking about like, does this count? Like, does it count? And I asked them, like, does this count as a credit? Like, I'm not doing stand up. Like, I didn't like my speaking parts didn't make the cut.
Hmm.
Like, does it count? And they were like, bro, you auditioned, you got booked. Like that's
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 a
what
credit.
that's a credit. Like that's what that is. I'm like, y'all said it, not me. You know what I mean?
Like
So
if you're on IMDb, they're gonna list it. Like that's like if they have like your name on the thing, then I'd say that counts. I like would you now the question is would you use that credit? Like say like if you're but depending on what you're doing, like whether it's like auditioning for something or for entering a festival for stand up purely, do you consider that as a credit that you would put in?
it's already on my bio.
Nice.
It's already on my bio.
Yeah.
Featured in the dad segment on Drew Barrymore's
I like that.
show
Yeah.
on CBS. Participated in like that's what that was. Like I
Hmm.
and I'm so happy that it was a dad joke segment and not like participated in a cooking segment.
I
No,
know,
like
right?
it's jokes.
It's
Like
like it
I was
has
rating
jokes in it
jokes.
too. Yeah.
I was
I
rating
like that.
jokes. And the joke that this is the joke I said in my audition. I said, and I wrote this just for this. I said, what is it called when MC Hammer insults you?
Tax evasion.
I can't touch this.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Good. That's good. Damn, I wish I heard you say that on the show. That would have
I
been
know,
that
bro.
would have been
I was so ready. I was so ready to say that. I was working on it all day. I was like, should I say what is it called when you get insulted by MC Hammer or when MC Hammer insults you?
uh well this is a one of the first appearances sort of thing. It's a step in a direction and who knows, man. It's back on there people rating your jokes, so you gotta prep up for it.
Look, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Because this is proper ebonics, and I think I say a lot of things here I don't normally say anywhere else online.
Hmm.
I shot my shot, bro. Like I shot
Yeah.
my shot afterwards. You know what I mean? Like the the producer that booked me texted me and said, "Yo, you killed it."
Nice. Yeah.
She said that, and I don't think she said it to the other two guys.
I don't know if they really killed it like that. I don't really. They're nonverbals. I mean, they were cool and all shout to them, but they were kind of
Nah,
just chilling.
they told us. They said we're gonna mic y'all up once the segment starts. Only talk when you're spoken to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't speak, but I can just be myself, rubbing my beard, making faces. I can do that.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I was like, okay, I can't talk, but I'm gonna speak. You know what I mean?
It's, yeah. You know,
It's
it'd be
also
kind of it'd be kind of wild of like, and you mentioned of the Joey K of like doing warm up for a show. I always thought that would be cool. Like it's steady. If it's a show, it's probably films every day. I forgot there was a comic who did it at the nightly show. I don't recall, but like they were there every day, and it was essentially like you do kind of like similar things, and then you pretty much just talk to the crowd for like the other half of it for like 10-15 minutes. So it's like, all right, this is kind of like stage time too. And it's like I always thought of that being one of the more stable comedy jobs, like when you're kind of first starting out, sort of thing.
Having a warm up job is super lit.
Yeah.
Like, so for people that listen that don't know what a warm up job is when a comedian, an entertainer, before these talk shows and morning shows, they got to get the audience pumped up for the show. You know what I mean? Make them laugh. And there's been some of your favorite comedians have done this. Did you know? I'm pretty sure I heard this. Dave Chappelle was warm up for Bill Cosby show.
Oh,
Pretty sure I heard that.
I heard it was Hannibal. That's what I heard. That's We may just have different sources though.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're not serious.
Yeah. No, I'm not serious. That's why
I had to think about it because you held it for a long time.
No, it's wild to think the idea of Chappelle. I mean, Chappelle did a lot of wild things. Like Chappelle was like in a commercial where he was like rapping. It was like an anti-drug commercial. It was like 1988 or something like that, and he's like rapping in it. I don't know. I gotta send it to. I've saved it on my thing. I gotta send it over. But he did a lot of like random things. He was like on Home Improvement randomly for a bit too. He's been around for a while, but that's an example of that. Like, there's a lot of just different random, less celebrated things within comedy that you can do outside of just what seems just the standard trajectory. Like, people think it's like open mics, get a big break, stadium. Like, there's a lot of like in between that you could be doing: commercials, voiceover actor, dancing,
work.
yeah, or that too. Yeah, that's also, yeah. I thought Tupac, he was a backup dancer.
Backup dancer, yeah.
Yeah, so you could, that's the route that I'm taking.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I could see you doing background dancing and rapping in commercials. That's right up your alley, bro.
I think so, man. I think I want to do like a voiceover work for macaroni and cheese commercials, sort of thing. I think that would be kind of like a cool thing to do.
Mac and cheese commercials. You making sex sounds? What are you doing?
So it's like a family comes in, they're having a rough day. It was a long time of like they were going through soccer practice and all that. They come through a door, and then I'm like, man, I get closer to the mic. Man, it's kind of hard after a hard day's work to cook up a whole meal. Huh. But don't worry about it, though. You don't got to do it this time. Macaroni and cheese. I'm not going to give out the brand's name yet until they hire me. But
it's funny because you think macaroni and cheese is a whole meal. You just want a side. You want a side. You can just have some string beans.
This ad is brought to you by macadamia nuts. We could also have some of those.
Don't put it in your mac and cheese, though,
bro. I put in. I can put this down now. I add an element of crunch to most of my meals, so I may put a little pistachios in my macaroni and cheese.
God, I'm glad I don't eat cheese. Oh God.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't do the cheese.
I can't do the cheese, but yeah, man. The background. Oh, also, too, I wanted to say that I do know. You know Missy Hall.
Missy Hall.
Shout out to Missy Hall. I was talking to her a couple weeks ago, and she's at a show, and she was telling me that she's done not back up, warm up, like warm up work. You know what I mean? So it's like that's a very secure, bro. It's a morning job, like it's a morning performance job. You can't get any better than that. You know what I mean? It's income in the morning, and you're doing what you love to do. Like
that would be,
bro. If Joey K wanted to retire, I would step right in.
That's yeah, man. That would be cool. That would be a nice little segue of like into doing like the segment, and then it's like, yeah, we like his nonverbals, got a cool beard and all that. Oh, he does comedy as well. Oh, the producer knows him too. It's like,
yeah,
look,
bro. I told you I shot my shot. When she told me, she was like, "Yo, you killed it." I told her, I was like, "If you need anything, you know what I got dad jokes. I'm a stand. I'm down for whatever." She's like, we keep that in mind. And that's that. Like, you know, before I probably might not have said anything. I'd be like, oh, thank you. But nah, I want to be there.
Yeah, man.
I'm shooting, bro. I'm shooting.
You had a rad experience, and it sounds like in terms of like the feeling of it, it was good too. I think sometimes people could have like cool experiences, but the feeling may not be favorable, for lack of better words. And it sounds like you had the best of all worlds. So
Yeah,
congratulations,
man.
man.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I held it down for the proper Bronx gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Was in the building
I was repping PE on Sunday. I mean, I was repping PE 24/7. You know what it is.
for life.
Yeah, man. It's I wanted to show you my new PE tattoo. No, um, so Audrey Marsh, she recorded her comedy album,
Dope.
titled Jokes, over at Tellus 360 on Sunday. And yeah, man, I had to come through for that and like check it out. And I gotta say, I don't have to say, but I want to say she rocked out. She killed it.
Nice,
Yeah, man.
nice.
They like I don't know what constitutes like selling out, but it was a lot of people. It was a buttload of people. I'm
It was
sure they
sold out. Just say it. It was sold out.
yeah, I don't want to like put numbers out there if those weren't there or whatever. But like it was, yeah, it was essentially like it was packed out. People were there. People were having a good old time, man. Everyone that like opened it solid. It was cool to see, and we're seeing more and more of that now. And you're going to be on that train now soon of like our like peers doing comedy albums and comedy specials, and it still takes me back to be like, oh man, that's like a full 45 minutes to an hour of
Yeah.
you just rocking out. And it's just it's cool, it's inspiring to see, and it's especially for Audrey, it was definitely dandy. So yeah, shout out to them, and when that comes out, definitely check it out.
Did she do two shows or just one?
She just did one, and it's funny, that's there are a few people were like mentioned that earlier of like, oh, will it be two? Because typically that's the case in comedy. You'll do two. Glenn Tickle, he's doing his tonight. He's doing two at 7:30 and 9:30. But she just did one. There were no like major like or even any like glips or anything like that. So I think she just rocked out. I think she like did a headline set like the day prior or something like that. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I think it's interesting because some people when they go for that one, it's like, well, I guess you just have to really make sure it's all there in that one take.
Yeah.
Nerve wracking when you think about it.
It is. It is because like I've seen people like start start a joke, stop it because it didn't go well, and like, are we gonna start it again?
Really? During a taping?
Yeah. Like it's like we can't. What I'm gonna do? Just not use this joke, or either I can not use this joke, or we can just all right, hold on, I fucked that up, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
that's not a bad move. You just got to make sure the crowd's really with you. Which, if you're recording an album, there's a good chance the crowd's with you. The crowd wants you to do well, so they'll be with it and be along with the joke.
yeah, no, I would probably address it and be like, yo, I messed that up. We're gonna do it again from the top, and
It's a
then yeah.
yeah, that'd be a fun one to include in the final product. I'm like, hey guys,
bonus material, bonus track or something.
I think Mitch Hedberg essentially did do that, which is actually kind of fun.
Did he?
Yeah, shout out to Mitch Hedberg. Or like he did something where like he on his second album he included jokes from the first album, but acknowledged that there were old jokes, but he like added something new to it. He's like, well, I wanted to add this tag, so I'm gonna tell this shit. But
That's a good point though. What do you do? Like, so I've said this plenty of times. Like, I don't feel like jokes are ever done, right? So when you record an album, when you record a special, like, you just not think about that joke again, or like, do you just? Because like I'm always adding and tagging all the time, so it's like once it's recorded and out, it's it.
Mm.
Or you can do like Mitch did and go back and edit it like a Facebook post. Like,
it's yeah, that's definitely an option, man. Before we get too far into it, we're just having this nice little conversation. This is dandy. I gotta say, my morning was a little blah, but after and during this conversation, it's more like whoa. With that, I want to give some prop suggestions. Let's give some prop suggestions to people. Oh my goodness. For the prop suggestion on this one, I don't know if it was mentioned during our last one, but your boy was cat sitting for producer Pat last weekend up in Harrisburg. And I don't know if you ever spent like a weekend in Harrisburg, but there's things to do.
Harrisburg.
Oh, I know that. You may be familiar with what I'm about to recommend. So you know your boy feeds the cats and all that stuff. Make sure they're taken care of. Shout out to Chloe and all that. I like Chloe's. But went out and like was able to explore some of the areas and some of the attractions within Harrisburg. For my prop suggestion, if you're in the central PA area, it's going to be the Indian cave echo, or maybe was it the Indian Echo Caves? Bruce Pratt, if you could correct me on that one. But essentially, like it's an attraction where you're able to like go into the actual caves, Indian Echo Caverns. Gotcha. Thank you. And it was cool, man. You get like a guided tour through these caves. I've been there for like years. And there's a bunch of history in terms of like there was a person living in the cave within like maybe 100, 200 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. I for a while, I want to say the last few months, I'm like, man, I kind of want to go in a cave. It's been a really long time. Like the last time I went in a cave was like probably 2015, and then went into this one, and like it was solid, man. It was like a group of like 15, 16 of us, and you could just kind of roam around in a cave. You could like go into a cave by yourself and like kind of like talk into it, and then hear your voice
So
reflect.
you mean the 15 people was at the cave years ago, not this one?
No, no, sorry. This is on the tour. There were 15 people that were on the tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, man, it was just a really cool experience. People were getting married upstairs. If you're into caves or just curious about caves, I'm definitely going to recommend this one, which again is the Indian Echo Caverns.
Indian Echo Caverns in Harrisburg.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how I feel about caves, man. I don't know if I get trapped in them.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was like a history of like I guess like there was an extra opening in one of the caves that teenagers used to try to get into. And immediately I thought of like, oh, what if you got stuck in that sort of thing? Like if you're stuck in there's a bunch of horror stories of like people like because they that's something that I won't do, like going into the like cave hunting where you're like going through different crevices. Like that's one where like if anything gets stuck and just the idea of like not being able to get pulled out. Um, yeah, I kind of wanted to tell this one, but I don't want to get us too far into it. There's this one, what's the name of it? Something Pudding Park. But it was this kid, like 18 years old. They're doing like the cave exploration with his family, and he goes down one crevice, and then he can't get out. But he's going in there like this, so he's head first, and his feet are stuck. And the repair team, they all come in and all that stuff. Not repair team, but like the I don't know what they would be like people that help you
Cave
with stuff in
cops.
the cave. Yeah, cave cops. There you go. Cave cops come across, and ultimately they couldn't get him out because it was like the only option would be to like break his legs. And eventually, after like 2 days, he was there, and his body's still there.
What?
Yeah, like that's like he lost his life, and they never removed him. They just covered up where his body is.
What cave is this?
This it's something Pudding. Bruce Pat, if you could look it up, like uh, it, it's Bruce Pat's like, is it Everett? No, that's funny. It's no, if you and it's pretty much like explorer gets stuck in cave and pudding. If you put pudding in the title, it'll give you the name of the actual place. Um, yeah, man, that was one of the horror stories, and it came to my mind while I was in the cave. But luckily, I didn't go head first in any of the crevices.
Why didn't they just break his legs when he died?
I don't know, maybe against the family's wishes.
They rather have him sit up there like a bat.
I don't know, man. That could have been the move, man. When you think about it, it's like, yeah, get mummified here in this cave, doing something that you enjoy doing on your downtime, or like get a traditional burial with having your legs being broken. That's a pretty brutal thing too.
But he's dead. It's not brutal if he's dead to break his legs to get him out of the thing.
Okay, so it's the Nutty Putty Cave. That's what it is. Nutty Putty Cave. And yeah, it goes into like one of they're called splunkers until like,
Spelunker.
yeah, like if you're like exploring your spelunker, it seems like kind of a wild name. Okay, I feel like we could come up with a different one for that. Yeah, cave gangs. That's pretty much if you're exploring caves, you're in a cave gang. But yeah, got trapped in one. And this happened in 2009, so not long ago. His body is forever sealed. The person they loved splunking, his father frequently took him. Yeah, so it goes a little bit.
That's crazy,
yeah.
bro. So I guess my proper suggestion is to not spelunk. It's crazy. So look, my proper suggestion for the week is going to be for the folks out there that meal prep and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's the funny thing is I've seen online now is like white people start calling them meal prepping, but black people just been using leftovers forever. You know what I mean? But one way because people say like, yo, I'm not going to make some chicken on Monday and eat it on Friday. So it's like, but one thing that people this is my suggestion, my recommendation. If you want your food to last longer, separate it. Meaning
Separate.
like meaning like don't put your meat, starch, and your vegetable in the same container. Separate it because foods age at
True.
different times. So it's like you maybe your vegetable may go bad, but your chicken and your rice may still be good. But if they're in the same container, once the vegetables go bad, it's making everything else in there go bad. Because once the
Damn.
I don't know what you call it, the mold or whatever it is, once it gets onto the thing, it spreads. So it's like even like if you got vegetables or fruit, if one apple is going bad, take it out. You take it out. That way, the other apples will be okay. So like that's it's the same. It's the same situation. So that's my suggestion to people that want to meal prep is you should set or buy the containers that have the separate
Splitters
um
in there.
yeah
That's
yeah
a
yeah
that's a super good suggestion. It's a simple one that some people just wouldn't think of. Like I made one of those people. I literally made steak and mushrooms. I was like, oh, I have a little bit left over, and just put them all in one. Not realizing one may expire before the other. Luckily, I love my steak and mushrooms, so I ate it the next day. So I didn't have to worry too much about that. Producer Pat suggests that you're throwing out food segregation. What's up with that?
yes yeah. We should keep our food separate. Martin Luther King would not be happy with the way I eat my food.
Oh my goodness. So, something else that Martin Luther King may not be happy with, man, is I don't know if you saw this, man, but the Dalai Lama.
I did not know where you were going.
I've been working on my segues, dog.
Yes, the Martin Luther King would not be happy with the Dalai Lama.
It's
Nah.
both for peace, both very much for peace. But with the tongue sucking situation, I actually do want to explore this a little bit. So there was a video which actually it took place back in like February, so months ago, and for whatever reason it resurfaced a bit within the last 2 weeks. But it's there's a bunch of people around a Dalai Lama, which I think he's like what 86 or something like that, like late 80s. There's a bunch of people around him, the cameras are recording, and he's having interaction with one of the boys there. And at one point, he does a gesture where he sticks out his tongue and suggests that the boy sucks on the tongue. And it was his mannerisms were very playful-ish. The boy he kind of backed up a little bit. The boy didn't seem to really care so much for it. Producer Pat says sharing file and meeting. I don't know if I want to see that photo, Pat. That's I don't know, but you may just have to take my visualization for this. We're watching the video and Producer Pat just puts it over one of our faces. But so yeah, this is making news of so Dalai Lama, he suggested the boys suck. And the people around it kind of followed with like kind of playful laughter, maybe a little bit of confusion. And a lot of people are saying that this was inappropriate of the Dalai Lama. And there's also, I want to represent this side too. There's many people that are suggesting that it's a cultural gesture that many of the older people will do to like stick out their tongue to kind of initiate playfulness with younger, the youth, pretty much just kind of playfully tease them. They're saying that's a part of the culture as well. I'm not as familiar. So have you seen this?
Yeah, of course I've seen this. This is
Don't say it like that. That's a
course
wild.
I've seen because how can you not?
I avoided it. I did not watch the actual thing. I was like, ugh.
I didn't Google it. I was just scrolling. I seen an old man with his tongue out. I was like, what is going on? So this is my thing, right? So it's like, so obviously, this has to be okay in their society. It has to be. If it wasn't, he wouldn't just do this on camera like this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. So that's when I mentioned like the people talk about the tongue thing. Yeah, that's what they're suggesting, that it's like a standard there. That's also being suggested that he is a bit older and maybe not completely with it as much.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I I think what supports the idea of it being within the culture is like allegedly how the people around in the video were reacting. It wasn't like shock and awe, which who knows though, maybe like when something like that just happens in front of you, that's yours, you don't really know how to react. But it wasn't like, oh my goodness. It was more like, oh, the Dalai Lama is having an interaction with this boy. Um, it's when we cross reference it over, it's like culture norms that we're familiar with. When we see the photo and we see the blurred image of the boy and all that, and just kind of like in general, the idea of like that sort of interaction with a kid, it's a little more difficult to digest. But how do we weigh those out if it's within their culture?
So this is what I'm saying. Like how I look at him definitely depends on if this is part of their culture or not. So it's like if he's just doing what they do there and this is okay in their society and everybody's okay with it, they knew what was about to happen. I think it's nasty and gross, but that's what they into, and they I don't think they should be, but that's what they into. Now, if he is out of it mentally and just don't know, he thought that was like some chick from I don't know, I don't like he don't see a little boy, he sees some I don't know who would he see. Maybe if his mental is if he's going crazy, he's old. That could I don't know. I don't want to believe. It's nasty, bro. This is nasty.
It's
I feel like it may sound like I'm on the fence about it,
uh,
but I'm just trying to be like, because the thing for me was when I seen it was a video, and it was other people there,
right.
like R. Kelly, right? His videos, hear me out. His videos was just him and the girls. It wasn't
Right.
like a bunch of people because he knew he was wrong. He was like, can nobody else see this? But like the Dalai Lama was just like, you know, hey, like it's wrong is nasty, but it's just like,
Uh, yeah, you
what's up?
venting. You're sub venting right now. It's like it's going through one of the vents. I can tell that there's other vents out there, and there's more that you're holding back a little bit on.
Like because it's disgusting, it's nasty, right? But it's like there's no way he was trying to be like a dirty old man
In front of all
unless
those
he
people, sort of
mentally
thing.
right, unless he mentally not there, like you said. Because there's so many people there. There's cameras around, and it's not like he's just like, what are we doing? What's the big deal? I don't even have TikTok. What's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, what if that happens like here, like, all right, we got like Joe Biden is like talking like having an interaction with a kid sort of thing. I'm just picturing like the equivalent of like obviously it's different cultural norms in different contexts, but I'm sometimes I like to picture like the different reactions that would come out of that. Of like there's video from like February Joe Biden for whatever reason sticking his tongue out and being like, hey, if you could suck on this sort of thing, it would be like, oh, uh, that would be the same one where it's like, all right, well, this person's older, they have like they may not be as with it sort of thing, but then we'd have to factor in some of the cultural norms and maybe history.
Do you know how much an 86-year-old tongue has been through?
Oh goodness, yeah,
Bro,
that's a lot.
oh my God. If I stink. Uh,
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 that's
okay.
there's some things you can't get off through power wash, man. There's some things that stay within the crevices.
Like just all the chicken marsala or whatever they eat. I don't know. Just like all the, I don't know.
Big in the Buddhist community. Um, yeah, even bro, even for us, like I said, we're unks. We got some unk tongues. Like we got like there's like between it's like different natty ices. We got gushers in the building. We got like different Oreos. Like we got like 30 plus
IPA,
years. Yeah.
fruit roll up.
Yeah. Even this damn coffee out of this mug that I haven't washed in probably 3 days, which isn't so bad. But yeah, it's kind of wild when you think about like how long a certain part of your body has been through and what it's endured. Like my foot, it's endured a lot. So it's like part of me is like, oh yeah, it would make sense if a foot goes out. Um, but like, yeah, even down to like your tongue, your eyes, your fingers. It's yeah, I didn't want to go across the fingers, but it's weird. It's in terms of like the germ element of how much your hands have gone through. I guess you could wash them, but ooh,
Yeah, man. It's what hands have touched. So hands, the dirtiest things in the world are things that hands touch.
Hmm.
doorknobs, phones, like
Uh,
super dirty. So it's like imagine having to suck the Dalai Lama's finger.
why would I have to imagine that? Why would I have to, what's that? I don't know. We have to imagine that part. Oddly enough, though, it's funny to think about. If he had done that, there'd probably be less backlash because it's a finger versus a tongue.
Yeah, tongue seemed way more sexual, bro. His
Yeah.
breath probably stink. That's wild. When I seen it, I was like, this can't. It's on video. It's on like they recorded this. No, like yeah, no, that's crazy, bro. Yeah,
Finally
that's
answering the question, what does the Dalai Lama and R. Kelly have in common? We finally know the answer to it. Shout out to
that'd be.
DHS.
What does the Dalai Lama do?
Give wisdom, give hope, make people feel some sort of fulfillment when they lack it, I suppose.
Like, in order to get this power, you got to suck his tongue. Is that what?
That
I don't know.
may be
Like, 'cause
part of it.
I don't know. Like, my daughter asked me earlier, like, what does Mother Teresa do? And I was like, I guess she's like the Dalai Lama for women. I don't know. Like,
She's Dalai Lama for women. She's Dalai Lama for women and babies.
I don't know. I think she passed away anyway, so I'm not even sure.
Yeah, she was one of the first people that I remember passing away. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like in terms of like known people, like it was her, Princess Diana, and like I was about to say my uncle, but I don't know how much he was known outside
Like
of
Aaliyah.
family. Aaliyah was a little bit older for her. Aaliyah was a little bit older for her. Like I feel like there was like another major one, but definitely those two, Mother Teresa and Princess Diana. Like before really having a concept of like death as much, those are two notable ones. I'm like, oh, huh. Like I remember hearing about that.
No, I don't know. What year was Princess Diana? Diana, was that 99 or something like that?
I want to say like 98, 97.
I was pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know. I don't
guessing.
know. I don't know. I don't know much about the. Yeah, I was pretty close. I knew it was around that time though. I know some paparazzis. He said actually
He's,
2011.
he's,
He's
he's
lying.
yeah, he's that's that
He's lying.
was an
Producer Pat
irresponsible
is
thing to
lying.
do, Producer Pat. We were really about to go on air like, yeah, no, Princess Diana, she died 2011.
That was a good lie. That was a good lie. All right. I think it's a good time to do some goals, some
Goals, we
proper
can get some
some
goals.
proper
Dang, dang.
goals. It was 1997, and the year after Biggie.
Oh my
Same
goodness, yeah.
same year as Pac.
Oh goodness, yeah. I mean, who knows what she was affiliated with?
Diana could have been a rapper. We don't even know. She could have potential. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have my Princess Diana shirt, my airbrush shirt on. I didn't wear it for this, but I do have it.
Her rap name be Lil Dada. I don't know. But,
Young Dee
all
Dee.
right, Didi. All right. Proper goals, man. What's my goal? And I'm speaking this to you guys because I need to do it. I need to finish this book, bro. I've been reading this 500-page book
Really?
like a year,
Nice.
at least a year. Like I'm like, yo, I do like 10 pages a day. And it's like if I wake up and just knock out 10 pages a day, I'm good. But I don't be doing it.
Mm.
So that's the goal. The goal is to stick to the 10 pages a day. The book is I talked about it before on here. It's called On the Real Side. The On the Real Side is the origin of humor, African American humor from slavery to Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
Um,
that's
really
cool.
good. It's really good read, really good book. It actually teaches me to not shuck and jive. That's really what I get from this book.
Yeah,
It's like, yo, I never want to be like those people. Like that's really,
I was aggressive those people.
yeah, those black comedians I see nowadays that shuck and jiving and like, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like,
I saw someone hump the stool yesterday. It's,
yeah, like stop, you ain't gotta do that. Don't hump like our ancestors humped enough stools, bro.
yeah,
They
our,
had to.
our ancestors, Cat Williams.
Cat Williams is going to be a great figure in history books when it's all said and done, bro.
Yeah,
Like
no, I
his
say
career,
jokingly, but shout out to Cat Williams. Like,
his career is insane. Like
yeah,
yeah, OG in the game. But yeah, so my goal was to read 10 pages a day. That's the goal. I got like 150 pages left.
nice,
So
man.
it's like if I can knock out 10 a day, that's like 15 days.
Bro,
So that's the goal.
next time we record, man, maybe you'll have an update on that. Like, it's That's something, I didn't do it this morning. I was a little bit too distracted, but I find reading in the morning is a helpful. It's almost like doing a puzzle, where like it gets the brain going a little bit. And it's something I wanted to kind of do prior to recording this too, of just like, all right, well, I haven't really had a conversation prior to this. And it's kind of like you got to get your brain going a bit. I think that's a solid one to have, even if you do like 5 in the morning, 5 at night. When I did Crime and Punishment, I did 2 pages a day, which always, it usually led to reading more, like 3 pages or even 2.5. But
Hmm.
it's good to set that timeline when it comes to books and kind of like make your way through it. So yeah, man, I like that goal. Keep it up.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a similar goal, man. So I'm currently reading An Honest Thief, which is a short story by Dostoevsky, and it's not long. It's not long. It's probably like 30 pages or something like that, but I just haven't been putting as much time into it. So my goal is to less so than read. I'm not going to put myself in like a metric for like read per day, but my goal is to like have it
Yeah.
completed, and like actually like make more of an effort to get through it. Because it is good. Like once I have it, I'm like, okay, this is solid. It's just I haven't been putting as much time into it.
It's a very short book too, man. You gotta knock that out.
Yeah, no, it's something I could probably like do it today, but although today is a pretty much action packed, it's it's action packed weekend, man. It's action packed weekend. I'd like some downtime to focus on a few things I need to focus on, but it should be solid. Like I mentioned, man, shout out to Glenn Tickle recording his comedy album. I'm gonna shoot up to the Lehigh Valley and see what's going on over there. Pop
Where's he
over.
recording it at?
He's doing it at the Visitor Center. It's within Steel Stacks. So he's doing, yeah, like I said, he's going to do 2 recordings. So yeah, man, it's always cool to like see him work and all that. So I haven't seen him in a few months, so it'll
Yeah.
be nice.
I feel like I seen where did I see Glenn Tickle at? I seen him recently.
Yeah, I feel like you guys did have some sort of thing together. For whatever reason, in my mind, it's like you guys had like a thing. Was he also? He was also at like the dad jokes thing as well.
No, I forget where he's at. You know what's funny? The dad joke thing. It's funny that I did the dad joke thing because one of the breweries that I work with to produce shows in June, they want to do like a dad joke
Ooh.
night where it's like audience members can come up and do some dad jokes. So it's like
Ah, okay.
so they had hit me up about that, and when I got the Drew Barrymore thing, I messaged them like, "Yo, it's so funny." Like so now when we introduced me for that, you were like, "You seen them on
Yeah,
dad joke," and I'm doing a dad joke shows, whatever. So like
alignment. I
it's
like
crazy
that.
how that works. Yeah, man.
That's wait. So it's going to be a show where it's like dad comics and then also audience members telling dad jokes, or is it that's just one portion of it? That's comics, then the
So I
audience.
think it'll. So how is I think it's going to be set up. It's going to be one comedian, right? So if it's not me, I'll probably book somebody because they have other locations. So probably just do like 20 minutes, some 20 minutes of material,
Yeah.
do some dad jokes, and then like host if other people want to. So I guess like an open mic for dad jokes. I would say.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
okay.
But I think it's cool. It's something fun. It's like it's not for comedians where it's like it's going to be 20, 30 comedians. It's for people. You want to do some dad jokes, like some or come watch some dad jokes. Or it's just like it's like a fun thing. Summertime,
Yeah, man.
so
Nice, man. No, it sounds like it should be a cool time and all that stuff, man. I'm gonna get my spaghetti straps ready for summertime, and it should be very, very nice.
you gotta
And
get them hoochie daddy shorts.
oh yeah, yeah. Try to get those going. Have you been working on your summer body? Has that been a focus for you?
I'm gonna hop on my bike today, do some cardio today. I haven't been on it like I should have been. Like I've been doing a lot of stuff, and that's one thing. Like it's hard. You know what? If I can read and work out every day, I'll be great mentally and
Yeah.
physically. But it's hard sometimes to do both. It's I be being lazy.
Well, that's part of being an uncle, man. Being an uncle is like it's in theory it's nice to be able to do all these things, but then there's other fractions of life that you have to put your energy towards, and then when that energy is used, you may need to be able to decompress a little bit, and sometimes you can't get some of those ideals in. But an attempt is not a bad thing to try. So
Exactly.
yeah,
And
man.
on that note, I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah, man, I got to wrap up my foot. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wrap up my foot and then
Yo,
right
man,
there.
go get a massage, bro.
Yeah, we'll see. But if you've been listening to this so far, thank you for listening as always. This action-packed episode of Property Robotics. We'll be around. Like, subscribe,
Comment, share.
be kind to your neighbors.
Right. My neighbors gave me cupcakes yesterday.
That's them being kind to their neighbors.
Yeah.
that's,
Shout out to them.
yeah, man. Cool, man. Well, I'll catch you when I catch you.
All right. Peace.